Good morning to all. Today we will see about data structure. We know we will discuss today basic basics of data structure. First we will see about the definition. Data structure is the representation of logical relationship existing between individual elements of data. In other words, a data structure is a way of organizing all data items that considers not only the elements stored but also their relationship with each other. There are different types of data structures are there. So mainly classified in two categories. So one is called an primitive and another one is called an non-primitive data structure. So, so simply say the data structure is how to handle the data is called an data structure. So next one is introduction. Data structure affects the design of both structural and functional aspects of a program. Programming is combined of algorithm and data structure. We know that the algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve the particular function. That means algorithm is set of instruction written to carry out certain tasks, and the data structure is a way of organizing the data with their logical relationship retained. To develop a program of algorithm, we should select a appropriate data structure for the algorithm. Therefore, the algorithm and is associated the data structure from a program. So next we will see about classification of data structure. Data structure was normally divided into two categories. One is called a primitive and another one is called a non-primitive data structure. Next one is primitive data structure is called basic data structure, that is integer, float, character, pointer is called a primitive data structure. Next, non-primitive data structure was classified as lists, linear list and non-linear list. Linear list means collection of elements are homogeneous. Non-linear list means collection of elements are heterogeneous, that is different data, different types of data. Linear list data structure is called array, linked list, stack, queue. These are all linear data structure. These elements are homogeneous data type, and non-linear data structures are graph and trees. So these elements are different characteristics, that is called a heterogeneous relationship. Primitive data structures, there are two basic structures are directly operated upon by the machine instructions. In general, there are different representation of different computers: integers, floating point characters, character constants, string constants, pointers, etc. Non-primitive data structures, more sophisticated data structure, these are derived from the primitive. Non-primitive data structures emphasize on structuring of a group of homogeneous or heterogeneous different types of data. Non-primitive data structures, a list, stack, queue, tree, graph are examples of non-primitive data structure. The design of an efficient data structure must take operations to be performed on the data structure. Non-primitive data structures, most commonly used operations on data structure are broadly categorized for the following types. So these are all the basic operations of data structure: creation, selection, updation, searching, sorting, merging, destroy or delete. So these are all basic data structure operations. Different between them, the primitive data structures are generally the basic structure. It is called integer, float, and is called a primitive data structure. Non-primitive means is derived from the primitive one. For example, arrays is a non-primitive. Array is a collection of elements these elements are maybe an integer, floats are different, but collection of elements are homogeneous. It is an integer array or floating array. So collection of elements are homogeneous, so it is derived from the primitive data structure. Descriptions of various data structures. So we discuss about an array. Array is nothing but collection of elements. These elements are stored in the memory or continuous memory locations. We know we will get the address of the first element. We can calculate the address of second element and third on successive elements easily using some formulas. Can easily find out the address of successive elements. It means the array can contain one type of data only, either integer or float number or character. Arrays are declaring an array in C int array of 10. It means it is an integer array. This array contains maximum 10 elements. It is in static array. It is in fixed size. For example, we are using in C language, the size of this array is 20 bytes because each elements are occupied 2 bytes. So we are using maximum size of this array is 10. So 10 into 2 equal to 20 bytes. It is in static array. It is in fixed one. Suppose we are using only 2 elements in this array, so remaining 8 are unused. For example, using only 2 items means 2 elements means 2 into 2, 4 bytes, and another one is another 8 elements are empty location, but it is reserved. It is a main drawback of this static array, where that it specifies the data type of elements of array are stored. Array A or is the name of array. The number is specified inside the square brackets. The number of elements array can store. This also is called arrays. The following are some of concepts of Ramberg array. The individual elements of an array can be accessed by specifying name of the array following by index or subscript inside the square brackets. The first element of the array has index is 0. Second element is 1, 0 of 1, 0 of 2, 0 of 3, and last element is referred as array of 9. Arrays, the elements of array will always be stored in consecutive memory location. The number of elements that can be stored in array, the size of array's length is given by the following condition: upper bound minus lower bound plus 1. Arrays for the above array it would be 9 minus 0 plus 1 equal to 10, where 0 is in lower bound, 9 is in upper bound. Array can always use to be read or written through loop. If we read a one dimensional array, it requires one loop for reading and another for writing. Arrays, for example, reading an array I is equal to 0, I less than 9, I plus plus scanf. So reading 10 elements from the index 0 to 9 and writing an array means using the printf function displaying from 0 to 9. Arrays, if you are reading or writing it and 2-dimensional array, we need 2 subscript value. One represents row size and second one is column. The sum common operations performed on array are creating array, traversing array. The operations on arrays are insertion, deletion, modification of element, merging to arrays. Okay, the next we are discussing in the next video arrays, linked lists, and stack, queue, tree, and graph are seen in the next video. Thank you.